So moving on to criminal responsibility and mental health. Um, this one is pretty really important because this is where the cases get really intricate and very confusing at times because it is really difficult to understand a person's mental state, considering if they're not willing to share what they're feeling or what they knew. So really, it's just something that is really hard to prove, such as the first one, that is intent. And intent is when you sought out to plan something, and for example, killing someone, you plan out something for months. You have people in it on on it, and you share your idea and what you want to do. That is intent, and it's the highest one, but it's also the most difficult to prove, because if there's nothing else other than the person's words or proof that they wrote down something about how they wanted to do it, such as searching up on their phone how to dispose of clothing or a body or something stupid like that. That makes it super obvious. But there's a bunch of mental states, which one was the intent, which is the highest, knowingly, recklessly, and criminal negligence. So knowingly is you're aware of what could happen, the dangers that could be committed, and you still do it either way. But and yeah, and recklessly, it could be you're driving really fast, you're ignoring the speed limit signs, and you're zooming, and then you hit a pedestrian and you kill them. That is recklessly. Or the criminal negligence is when you fail to understand what could happen, and you don't try to purposely do it, but it happens, such as doing something stupid like shooting your gun out in public, and then you accidentally kill someone. Or maybe you thought it was, I don't know, you thought it was a BB gun or something, and you shoot it and kill someone. It could be something like that, because people are very negligent and stupid at times. But yeah. And then considering another thing could be the mental state and how people are feeling. So what makes it really important about the mental health and is there the criminal responsibility to it, because it really makes it uncover how much you were involved in the case, how did you, how involved were you, and what specifically were your intentions in it, and if you were really trying to kill someone. Because for example, if it's a murder case, and it could really go either way, and because with murder, first degree is really difficult to prove because it's the highest level and it's intent, as I said before. But it's really hard to prove the person's motives if it was in the moment, because it could either be someone was at a party and just out of nowhere came at someone and killed them. You don't know their full motives or intentions, so a lot of people just have to drop it to, a lot of prosecutors gotta drop it to murder of the second degree, because of the difficulty it is to prove it, to prove what the person's intentions were, because it could be heat of the passion and you're really just angry at someone because of what something they did at the moment, meaning that you had no regards towards wanting to actually kill them beforehand, and you were completely fine, but then it just happens. I mean, it's completely reasonable, because someone could, I don't know have any ideas right now, but someone could just do something bad that could really tick you off, and want you to just commit a crime that you wouldn't have thought you would be able to commit. So it's really hard to mention that. It's really important to mention that. Also, like including the mental health of a person, or just like how much they are in their head. Like taking into consideration an example of the podcast we listened to throughout the quarter. It was the one about the west of Memphis, and how one of the people who were charged for the murders, the defendants, I think I forgot the name, but I'm not sure if it was Jesse, but the one that had like a really low IQ. It can be used as an example of how hard it is to like want to involve someone in the case, because you can't just like involve someone in the case and like they're not like truly mentally there, or like able to acknowledge what is really going on and how severe it could be, because you can easily fool someone into thinking they committed a crime, and then they go on to say that I did it with this friend, or like I did this, and they get put the blame on them, and then it makes it easy for the people trying to prosecute or like find a culprit for the case if it hasn't been solved in a long time, which was the case for that case. And it really just shows that you can't always rely on people's words, and you really gotta like look into how like their mental is and how smart they are, and if they truly understand what is going on, which I feel is really important. Now moving on to the what's it called, the gradings, in the RCW. Now there's different types of levels of gradings. So as I mentioned before, way before in the beginning, that there's first degree murder and second degree. With a lot of crimes, there's levels to it. So one being the highest, and then 2, 3, and maybe I think 4 is lowest. So it really goes from like how bad the crime was. So if it was like really severe and bad, it's number 1, and if it's like less severe but like still like the actual crime, then it's like a lower charge, which can be 3. And also considering that it's harder to prove the first degree, but it's really just a way to differentiate the meanings of each other and to like grade each other. And then there's also the felonies, which is I believe the highest ones, and misdemeanors, which are crimes but like really like small, like not as that important as other ones, like they just don't have as much meaning. But moving on, another thing worth mentioning is like diving deeper into the mental health. It could be another example could be like the diminished capacity thing, where it really depends on if the person, like if they were schizophrenic or they had any mental problems. It could be involved and reduce the charge, because it wasn't really just like as intentful as like another person who was mentally sane and regular, I guess you could say. It just reduces the crime because they have actual problems which need more of taken care of, and in that case, a lot of times they're put into like mental places where they can be like what's the word, helped over their situations, and be able to just improve, I guess. then another one is, I already mentioned the competency, which is their actual mental state, and I briefly mentioned about the West Memphis one, but the insanity defense, which if the person actually understands what they did was wrong or not. I didn't really go much into details about that, but it's more about over if they truly understand what is actually going on and how, and if they understand whether their actions are like truly wrong, if they know that what is going on is actually like wrong, that they actually murdered someone, and you got to take a test for that. And if it turns out that they still need like you still like don't understand, they put the trial to the side and just make you like wait it out until you're kind of there. Like an example is if like you have a concussion or if you did injure yourself, that could also be something to include. This is another part for the second video, which was the mental health side of things. So now I'm gonna like bring up a statute that involves mental health and how it could be seen as fair. If I'm correct, it is RCW 71.05. It is about the mental health and how it's called the ITA, Involuntary Treatment Act, and pretty much it's around the topic about if someone is like mentally not there, and or someone like presents a danger, maybe someone makes a threat or something like that, they can be used. Anybody like for example, let's say a crisis responder sees or notices that like someone is going through like, or someone they like know locally around the neighborhood where like they work at or something like that, they notice that they're having like mental issues, and they're just like they just present a danger to society or to themselves, such as maybe harming themselves by, let's say, suicide. So maybe they're saying they're making suicidal remarks and comments about that, how, oh, I want to kill myself, oh, I don't want to live anymore. They could use the evidence against that person, and they could essentially just without a warrant, like what's it called, put them in emergency custody and then take them away for like a couple of days, and then just wait until court, and there's like a whole trial and hearing for the person. So that's also a side of things to like how it is fair, because they still get due process. The defendants still are able to like go against what happened, and as like any other case, there's gonna be like the prosecutor side, the prosecutors who like want to prosecute the person. So yeah, I find it like, in my opinion, I do find it fair that this is a thing, as yeah, there's like a lot of people who might be going through problems and really just don't want to be here anymore, and for that, I think it is useful to have in our community, in like Washington State specifically, I guess, where we reside, because it just makes it like have the potential to be able to stop someone or like protect someone from themselves or from others by essentially just putting them into custody and proving that this person needs help or that they actually are like a danger. So yeah, I do find it fair, and especially for the public safety, because it's really just about protecting everyone and everyone around the area, and just preventing harm. And yeah, I do find this statute really important in our community, in our state overall.